The end consumer is no longer there. The end consumer stopped being there as soon as everything got flooded with crap, with slop, with software that's generated from a prompt. And let's open my list. The list is named Fantastic Directories and Where to Shove Them. Now, the first and most popular directory on this list is producthunt.com. I think everyone has heard of producthunt.com. If you're an indie developer, if you're making any product of any sort, you're going to want to list your startup here on Product Hunt. Now, this used to be the case. This used to be true that you used to want to list your startup on Product Hunt, and as you can see, I've listed Product Hunt at the top of the charts. So this is still by far the best option out there, although it's a very, very bad option. Now, so what's happening on Product Hunt? The listing here, as you can see, it's live, only gathered a few followers, like a few clicks. The day I uploaded my website on Product Hunt, apparently no one was interested in what I had to offer because, and this is an important point to make, the website was flooded with tools, mainly AI tools. If you look at launches happening today we're Friday the 13th, this is an infinite scroll of death. We've only reached position 21, and who has time to look over all of that? And if you go and expand the list to everything that's here, it's insane. Like, look at the scroll bar. Scroll. 200 plus 300. I don't know. Let's see, because they are numbered. After 259, they don't bother even assigning a number to these posts. So if you're trying to get a little bit of visibility from Product Hunt, forget about it. It's literally completely over-flooded. Honestly, I don't think most of these are even startups, like for real startups. They're just someone bought some domain name, vibe coded something, and generated a logo and just flooded everything, flooded all directories. The scroll bar is longer than this. We're nowhere near the bottom. We've gone way past 260. So make of that what you will. My own conclusion is that it's basically pointless today. Back when I launched another one of my startups, when I launched Stefino RPG, I had maybe 50 competitors, so to speak. That was back in 2020, so that's 6 years ago. When I launched GoIndexMe, there were already more than 100 startups, but I got very lucky and GoIndexMe got featured for some reason. I don't know, I never contacted anyone. And because they featured it, it managed to rise above the 100 something startups. When I launched Oglama, there were 200-ish startups. Today, when I launched Draw on Screen, over 300, over 400, I have no idea, and I'm not going to write a script to count them. Who cares? Like, at this point, they could be over 9,000. Who cares? The competition has become infinite, and I think the only culprit here is AI. So this estimate of organic traffic is basically fake. 99.9% of this traffic is just people who launch their own startups there. So it's traffic coming only from other indie developers. It's not organic traffic from people interested in products. There's no one else on the market. So no one goes to Product Hunt. My mother never tells me she visits Product Hunt to see what's new, ever. Nobody I know outside of the, SaaS space or whatever, has even heard of Product Hunt. So Product Hunt is mainly visited, I would say 100% visited by other developers. So if you're making a tool that's geared towards other entrepreneurs, SaaS developers or whatever, maybe this is the place for you, but even so, consider that on the launch day, you're going to be flooded with slop. The chances that you get featured are basically zero. I have no idea how they select startups that get featured. Your only real option is to answer the call from one of the guys who offered to sell fake upvotes. So that's a thing. Product Hunt is flooded with fake upvotes. There are guys out there promising 500 upvotes. And the list is over. Like, the rest of the video is nothing. Like, everything here on the list is shit tier. Everything. Like, if Product Hunt was bad, compared to everything else, it's top notch. And if it makes absolutely no sense to publish on Product Hunt, like, the rest of the list doesn't matter. But even so, I've organized it by do-follow backlinks. So if the website gives you back a do-follow link, which helps with SEO, and domain authority. If you do get a do-follow backlink from a high domain authority website, that might help a little bit in the short run with your SEO. And let me clarify that. Why a little bit? Because you're one of 400 listings that day. And why for a short while? Because the link juice, so to speak, that you get from publishing on Product Hunt slowly diminishes with time. More startups get added and you get buried in secondary pages, secondary category pages, and you go further down the line. Maybe you're on the first page, obviously, the first day you're published, then you go to the second page, then to the third, then to the fifth, and to whatever. And slowly but surely, eventually, the link juice that you get from any and all directories becomes zero. So the domain authority aspect of it and the do follow aspect matters less and less each day as these sites are flooded. The organic traffic part is basically a joke on Product Hunt, and absolutely, look at this, non-existent. Even those people who post there, entrepreneurs who list themselves on these platforms, they don't visit their own listings. Forget about it. I want to point to this thing right here. FU $KERS equals pay to play. They never have the time, like they're backed up, they have too many listings, blah blah blah. However, if you're willing to part with $300, which is the case for BetaList.com, so that's 300, 400 soon, probably because inflation. If you don't part with that money, you're not going to get listed. So it's just as simple as that. And they're not the only ones playing that game. And they're playing a stupid game because, and this is funny, have zero traffic. They don't have traffic. They have no traffic. They have 10,000 organic views per month, which means what? Like the people posting there and a few bots. Like what's the traffic? There's zero traffic there. There's no traffic. It's pay to play, and the link juice value diminishes basically instantaneously. The second you're no longer on the front page, that link juice value goes to zero. You can forget about it. Not worth bothering with it. And the story gets sadder and sadder as we go down. Initially, you get a little bit of SEO and some traffic with these websites. Usually, Product Hunt, BetaList, they kind of sort of sometimes may send you a tiny fractional little bit of traffic, especially if on Product Hunt you are one of the chosen ones, you are anointed and they featured your startup. With the tier 2, you get no traffic, zero, like zero, nobody's going to visit your website, zero traffic, but at least you get some very temporary tiny bit of link juice. I have no idea. Maybe from time to time you're going to get some clicks. So I've had a little bit of positive experience with DevHunt. A few clicks here and there, but a few clicks here and there don't justify the time spent to create the post, in my opinion. Like a few clicks, yeah, who cares? And now there's the S tier for shit tier. No backlinks, no traffic, nothing. They're all basically pay to play. So this is the acronym for pay to play. And some of them are vibe coded, which means you can easily hack them. Their websites are duct taped. I'm not going to use other terms, they're just duct taped. And there's no point in listing there. Everything is pay to play, and at the end of the day, it's fake. Even if you pay BetaList or whoever $300 to get listed, that doesn't mean you're going to get traffic. You're going to get bot traffic, maybe. You're not going to get end consumers, because the end consumer is no longer there. The end consumer stopped being there as soon as everything got flooded with crap, with slop, with software that's generated from a prompt, single prompt software. Or what you can do instead is, and this is quite simple, just post a few videos on YouTube, write about your product, make them snappy, make them short, make them fun, put a backlink there. It's a no-follow link, but who cares? It's still more valuable link juice than anything you get from these directories. And long term, at least from YouTube, if you think about it, if someone watches your video and they like what you've built, they are probably going to become a customer. So the best link juice strategy I recommend moving forward is create your own content, use YouTube or other sharing platforms to upload that content, and users who are actually interested in what you have to sell will eventually click on that buy button because they were guided by a human through a one-on-one authentic connection. They weren't guided by a greedy directory with absolutely no interest in their user experience. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.